So what is good, y'all? It is Anime K here, and we are back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about why Jiraiya's death was perfect. Now, if you guys remember, Jiraiya died when he fought against Pain. Now, a lot of people, when this fight happened, they were unhappy that Jiraiya died, and not just unhappy, a lot of people just missed him in general. And you know what? I understand that, because Jiraiya could have continued in the story, but also I feel like his death was perfect. And I'm going to get into the reasons why, and we're also going to be talking about the whole arc as a whole and what it meant not only for Jiraiya, but also what it meant for Pain, Naruto, and everyone else involved in this. It's going to be a similar video to what I did with the Sasuke video on the 5 Kage Summit arc. But first, let's talk about it. So, how did this whole thing start with Jiraiya dying to Pain? Well, basically, right, Jiraiya was in the Hidden Rain village, and he was there with the legendary Sannin, Orochimaru, and Tsunade, and they'd been going back and forth with the Hidden Rain. They'd been fighting Hanzo the Salamander, all that, right? You guys remember that. But one day he met these orphans, and Orochimaru wanted to kill them, Tsunade wanted to turn them away, but Jiraiya decided to help them, and he went back with them to where they lived, trained them, and got them stronger and prepared, because one, he felt guilty for what he did to the Hidden Rain, and two, at this time he was searching for the Child of Prophecy, and he thought Nagato could potentially be that Child of Prophecy when he saw Nagato's Rinnegan. So that happens, right? Jiraiya trains them, they become like a family, they become close. He basically becomes their teacher and also a father figure to them, because all of them, like, you know, they are orphans, so they lost their parents. After training them for 2 to 3 years, I think it was, Jiraiya leaves the Hidden Rain village, and then we don't see the Ame orphans until they've all grown up, and that's when they start the Akatsuki. And I've gone over this a little bit in other videos, and a lot of you guys will know this, but obviously if you remember, Danzo comes to the Hidden Rain village, he tricks Hanzo attacks the Akatsuki, Yahiko dies by the hands of Nagato, not willingly, and then Nagato goes on a rampage, and then eventually that leads to Nagato killing Hanzo the Salamander, taking control of the Hidden Rain, and him and Conan run the Hidden Rain together. And that's how we get the current Akatsuki that we have today. Now we fast forward to Jiraiya trying to get information on the Akatsuki, and what he finds out is the Revi students that he trained, right, were the head of the Akatsuki, and he needs to go to the Hidden Rain to confirm this, and also potentially take down Pain. Now, what was kind of messed up for Jiraiya in this situation was because the students that he had trained, the students that he had brought up as his own children, were now going after his current student Naruto, and that must have been hard for Jiraiya, because one, he somewhat felt responsible for what was happening to them, because a part of him wished he would have stayed with them. Two, he felt like he didn't do enough, the fact that they turned out like this, and he didn't know the Pacific, so he didn't realize it wasn't necessarily his fault, but he knew they were trying to do good before, but somewhere along the line something wrong happened, i.e. what happened with Obito and Danzo and that. But it must have been hard for Jiraiya finding out that the very students he trained was now going after Naruto, who was the son of Minato, who he considered his son as well, and considered a Child of Prophecy, and also was on Jiraiya's team. So if you see how the dots are connecting, there's a lot of emotional stuff that is going on with Jiraiya, and there's a lot of dots that connect everyone involved in this to Jiraiya: Minato, Pain, Naruto, Danzo, the Hidden Leaf. It's all connected together, and it's even more connected when you find out that the people who killed Nagato's parents were Hidden Leaf Jonin as well, so it all adds up. But back to my main point is, it must have been hard for Jiraiya finding out that the very people that were trying to hunt down his current student was someone who he used to train and mentored. Now we move on to when Jiraiya goes to the Hidden Rain. Now, if you remember that very emotional scene between him and Tsunade, where Tsunade didn't know if Jiraiya was going to come back, in Jiraiya fashion, he reassures her, makes a joke, and basically says, look, you should bet against me returning, because you never win your bets. And I think he says that just to lighten the mood and kind of help Tsunade get through it. But as you can see, she was still worried that Jiraiya would die to Pain, because she knew how strong Pain was, or at least the rumors anyway. They at least knew he was the leader of the Akatsuki, so he must be strong. But Jiraiya reassures her and goes to the Hidden Rain, and this is when we get Pain versus Jiraiya. Now, this fight, so much was going on this fight. This was Pain proving his ideologies, right, had no bounds. He was even willing to kill his former teacher for what he believed was right. And look, Am I sad Jiraiya died? Yes, but Pain stuck to his ideologies, and killing Jiraiya and getting Jiraiya out of the way in his mind was rational, and it was okay because it was the only way to bring peace to the ninja world, or at least how he saw it anyway. Now this fight is really good for many reasons. It's the first time we get to see Sage Mode. Now it's not the full Sage Mode as we find out later, but Jiraiya's Sage Mode was still really cool with Ma and Pa. They had a lot of abilities together. That screaming genjutsu, which helped Jiraiya kill a lot of the Paths of Pains. Also, not only just a lot of the Paths of Pains, Jiraiya managed to kill 3 out of the 6, and it is stated that if Jiraiya knew the full abilities of the Paths of Pains, because before Jiraiya fought the Paths of Pains, we didn't know that none of them was the actual real body, but we found that out after. But it is stated anyway that, or at least Jiraiya stated himself, that if he would have known, he probably would have killed more of them. Now, am I saying he would have killed Pain? I don't know, but he at least probably would have had a better chance of at least escaping. But as we know, he didn't know, and that's what made it more impressive that he was able to kill 3 out of the 6 Paths of Pains. But ultimately, it wasn't good enough, and Jiraiya ended up dying. And we see Jiraiya, before he dies, right, before he loses his life, he does one last thing for the Hidden Leaf, and he basically writes a code onto Ma's back, or Pa, one of the two, I think it was Pa, but he writes a message onto the Toad's back, basically letting the Hidden Leaf know what Pain's abilities was, so then they were prepared for what they had to come up against. And look, even though this moment was sad, watching Jiraiya do one last act for the Hidden Leaf and for the people he loved, I think was just the best way for his character to go out. You know, they say if you live long enough you'll see yourself become the villain. Well, I don't know if that would have been true with Jiraiya, but it's just something about a hero getting a really good death that it always works with TV, or it always works with shows like this. So look, even though I'm sad Jiraiya's gone, his death was not in vain because he helped the Hidden Leaf get information. Now look, if Jiraiya didn't do that, Naruto basically lost to Pain anyway, but think how bad it would have been for the Hidden Leaf if they didn't know anything about Pain's abilities. He would have came in there and he would have killed every single person in the Hidden Leaf by himself. That's just how strong Pain was, and the fact that he was Uzumaki, he had the chakra to do so. So if Jiraiya didn't do what he did, even though it's sad that he died, if he didn't do what he did, the Hidden Leaf would have been destroyed. There's no question about that. There was nothing Tsunade, Kakashi, or anyone was doing about Pain. Now, this final part is Jiraiya's death. As he's sinking into the water, if you guys remember this, he talks about his life, and he basically talks about how he's always felt like a failure. He failed, and this is his words, failed to save Minato, failed to save a student, failed to save his mentor, i.e. the third Hokage, Hiruzen, couldn't stop his best friend, Orochimaru, from leaving the Leaf Village, and also could never win Tsunade's love. And we'll never get to see Naruto grow up and prosper as a shinobi. Why I bring this up is because him dying for the Hidden Leaf Village, I think it was his way of atoning for his failures as he saw it. And I think it was his way of basically giving something to the people that have given so much to him, because he feels like he hasn't given anything back to them and most of his ninja career was a failure. And I think that's what made this memory so stronger. And in his last moments, the one person he thought about before he died was Naruto, and the fact that he'd passed all his teachings, all his determination, all of that onto Naruto, and now it was Naruto's job, the child of prophecy, to finally fulfill that prophecy and save the world. And that's exactly what Naruto did. And I feel like, look, Jiraiya, even though it wasn't him that technically saved the world, without Jiraiya guiding Naruto wouldn't have been able to do that. Not just guiding Naruto, helping him against Pain, but just guiding Naruto throughout his whole life. And Naruto always remembers Jiraiya as that person, because without him, without his sacrifice, the ninja world wouldn't be what it was today. And Jiraiya impacted so many people's lives, and he created so many strong shinobis. It was incredible, you know, Naruto, Minato, Nagato, Conan. So, and even though he wasn't there for all their ninja careers, he still guided them to what they did become and became. And that's how I'll leave it. Now look, if you guys want me to go more into Pain's side of the story, I will do a video about the Pain arc and I'll go into more about Pain, but this is more about Jiraiya and Jiraiya's death and just how much I just think it was perfect, and why Jiraiya will always be remembered, even 20 years from now when maybe even Boruto's done, right? I think we will always remember Jiraiya as an exceptional shinobi. And I think that's how I'll end the video. But look, like, comment, subscribe, share the video, tell me if you think I missed out some points about this arc that I should have mentioned, and if you guys do like this style of videos, let me know, and let me know what arc you'd like me to do next, about whatever character you want me to do about. And look, this has been Anime K, and peace. I am out. Thank you for listening or watching.